Hello, welcome to Espresso. I'm Doug.
I'm Barb.
And this is our Ceado Mini Hopper for single dosing espresso use. It's designed specifically to fit a Ceado because all Ceados use the same hopper. And basically this section here replicates this section here of the Ceado Mini Hopper, including the draft angle in this plastic. It's my measurements. It's the top section, it's 59 up here, and it's 56 down here. Okay? That's the size of this. This video is to talk about, can I use this on a different grinder? Does it have to be a Ceado? And the answer is yes, but you have to do your measurements, you have to make sure, and you have to be willing to do a little bit of work to get it to happen. This is my dearly beloved Fiorenzato T48. It's an 83 millimeter flat burr. This is my espresso grinder. That's a companion with a similar vintage machine, so they really go together well. But we get the mini hopper, and you know it's just sloppy, and there's a strange. If you look in there, Barb, there's casting bumps. Those are the bolts that hook the stationary burr on. So it has some issues that you have to deal with in here to use this hopper for single dosing. But I mean, look at what we're talking about. Where's it? I mean, this thing's got a huge hopper. Wherever I put the original hopper, it's gigantic. And
It's
so,
down there.
yeah, it's right down there, but it's big. And so, how do we do this? You're asking yourself the question, I've got a grinder that I like, the mini hopper, I want to see if I can use it on there. And you just have to make sure that the opening is bigger than the measurements that I gave you. And that the block doesn't hit the burr. Now the block won't hit the burr if your depth is more than 3 centimeters. Okay, so I did my measurements, I made sure it would work fine, and then I say, okay, how can I get this to perform on this old grinder for me? And I just basically found a bunch of O-rings and started putting O-rings on, and that's about right. You can use tape, you can spend a lot of time and do a real neat job, or you can spend a very little time and do a real sloppy job, and the results depends on how much you put in. So I started putting these on, and I found that I've taken up most of the slack. It's just sitting on the bottom. It's sitting on that casting. I've taken up most of the slack, but I needed a little bigger O-ring. I found this group head gasket. Put this on, and this was my final touch. I think this is off of I think a 54 millimeter portafilter group, and I ended up with a system that just is ideal. I can push it all the way down, like so. There goes my block. Now I've got a real streamlined system for single dosing. One of the things that is very, very handy with this, I'll just show you a little more, is I can do a number of things. I put my beans in, following block goes down. I can come in here with a rocket blower, tip it up, knock down the last beans. All right, then I can use one of these little silicone pinch bowls that they sell for, I don't know what the function of these things actually is.
It's for measuring herbs so that when you cook, you have everything ready to go.
Yeah, it's called it's a pinch bowl. But the pinch bowl then, this size, goes right over the top, and see that? Works as a blower to clear the last of the system. Yeah. See, Barb? Okay, that's what you want to clear out. So that's your last step. You blow it out. Then of course it's a doser grinder, and you have to brush and collect and do everything that if you're going to single dose. But it turns out that yes,
You have a doser list, you don't have that problem.
no, you don't have the doser, but you also might need to blow out the channel. And there's challenges for single dosing, even if the grinder is designed for single dosing.
Yes.
You know, there's other challenges is that you might have to have a little stirring device to do a WDT to make
In
sure
your portafilter.
yeah, distribution in your portafilter. But single dosing is for me the way to go. I don't waste coffee. I always have fresh coffee, and I get really consistent results when I single dose. So that's the adaptation. Do your measurements. If your opening is bigger and taller, you're golden. You can make it happen.
And you can check your measurements most easily by just measuring the hopper
Right.
collar you have.
Just measure what you've got. You know, just for an operative example, this is an adapter for a Matzer Rober that adapts to a metal hopper. And this happens to be basically the same size as that. So there's a lot of ways to go with here, but remember, do your measurements, take your time, do it right, and you'll be really happy with the result. Thank you.